Luka Dončić.
Larry Bird.
Luka Dončić. Larry Bird. Luka Dončić. Larry Bird.
Most amazing late game players that I've ever seen.
Finney Smith to inbound. Back to Dončić. Dončić pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Dončić wins the game!
On this episode of NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons, we compare two of the most skilled, versatile offensive players of their era.
From small town Indiana to big city Boston, this legend helped save the NBA.
Their basketball genius, unbelievable.
His fantastic play has added magic to his name, but not the one from the 80s.
Their spontaneous style, sublime.
Whatever these two lacked athletically, their skill helped build a surplus of iconic highlights.
We are proud to present to you Luka Dončić and Larry Bird. I'm Uriah.
I'm Maurice.
I'm Lucas.
And I'm Ben.
And we're here to talk NBA
Now and Then.
Okay, we're back with another Hall of Fame episode. This is truly going to be special. One player is just doing things that is truly remarkable, coming from Slovenia to the United States, and then obviously a blast from the past. Talk about nostalgia, Larry Bird, Larry Legend. Before we get into our comparisons, let's talk about why we're comparing these players. Let's go with Ben first. Why are we comparing Luka to Larry?
Probably the obvious one. They're good shooters, and they're both white guys who can ball. If I'm being honest, I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, and they're kind of slow. They're not athletic. Similar size. They can play point guard. They just kind of have that dog in them too. So yeah.
See, I thought color did have something to do with it, but not necessarily the two white guys. They both wear green in their jersey. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Maurice, what about you? Why are we talking about these players?
I think both of them have kind of like the same attributes, the same skill sets. They're not the most athletic. They're not the fastest. Neither of them jump the highest. But they get the job done, and they get it done in a very special way.
Absolutely. And Lucas?
I mean, look, I'm gonna point out what Ben said. They are white guys, but there's been other skilled white guys in the NBA. I think we can all agree with that. But the thing that makes these two guys different than the rest of the white guys is the fact that they have a I don't care attitude. I'm gonna do me. I don't care that I'm not the most athletic. I don't care that I can't jump the highest, but I'm still gonna dominate this game, and I'm gonna tell you how I do it sometimes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I can't follow that up. That was really well said, Lucas. I will add to that the whole idea of them being very vocal and confident with their game despite what they lack athletically. Mm-hmm. And I think you pretty much went into the whole, I'm going to tell you how I did it, because that's what Larry used to do.
Oh, yeah.
Trash talking. And Luka, he's a little bit of a trash talker, too, when we talk about, obviously, the rivalry with the Suns and Devin Booker.
Him and Devin Booker especially. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And with the refs sometimes, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch a lot of Mavs on League Pass, and he just will take the shot. And I think Larry had that, too.
Yeah. The one thing that I want to say before we officially begin is I feel very fortunate to have grown up in that era in the 80s, because there were three things you could always count on in the spring in the mid-80s. It was the weather getting milder and nicer out. Obviously, the birds coming out and chirping and the animals coming out from hibernation. You always counted on the Lakers and Celtics being on TV, the green versus the gold. And as a kid, it was so... You just get so hype because you knew the Magic and Larry rivalry was something unique. It's something that Maurice alluded to earlier about saving the NBA, and we'll get more into that later.
Let me ask you guys this. Is the Booker-Luka rivalry, which, by the way, they could have been teammates, is this rivalry going to be as good as the Magic and Bird one?
No.
Probably not.
I think it would have to be like it would have to be a top 5 player. And no offense to Booker.
Are they not both top 10s already?
No, but top 5. Top 5. And it's hard to crack that top 5. That top 5 has been pretty...
Here's the thing. Let me jump in here. To answer the question and move on, it can't be, because if you look at the historical context, this rivalry actually started in college. So,
that's true. Yeah.
And it was so contentious. And we'll get into it with some of the history stuff, but yeah, this is going to be a special episode. Let's get right to it.
First quarter, background.
All right, it's time to talk about the Matador, a.k.a. Cool Hand, a.k.a. The Don, a.k.a. Wonder Boy. Yeah, there's a lot of nicknames. A.k.a. El Nino Maravilla, a.k.a. Swaggy L, a.k.a. Too Easy, a.k.a. I know, Maurice. A.k.a. Yeah, a.k.a. Luka Magic. Thank you, Basketball Reference. But anyway, before he got those nicknames, he was born Luka Dončić, February 28th, 1999, in Slovenia. By the time he was 7 months old, Luka had a basketball in his hands. His father, Sasa, was a pro basketball player and was a 2008 Slovenian league champion. Now, Luka started playing around the age of 7. He was so good that he was often playing against kids 3 and sometimes 4 years older than he was. By the age of 12, he was described as already being a walking triple-double. First over-under of the episode. The number of languages that Luka speaks right now. I'll go with 3.5. Maurice, how many languages? Over-under?
Over.
All right. Lucas?
It has to be over.
And Ben?
Over.
You guys are correct. Yeah. Does anybody want to take a shot at what languages he does speak? Anybody?
Well, Slovenian, obviously. He played in Spain, so it has to be Spanish, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's 2. Let me think what...
English.
English, obviously.
English.
That's 3.
Right.
So how many is there total?
There's 4.
Okay.
I might be able to get
I'm going to guess, because... I'm going to say Lithuanian.
No, not Lithuanian. Ben?
I kind of know the region a little. So it's Croatian, Slovenian, Spanish, and English.
Serbian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close.
Okay.
All right. So speaking of Spain, Lucas. So soon as a young adolescent getting into his teen years, Luka got an invitation to play with Real Madrid in the Mini Copa tournament. Now, when he was 13, he got a triple-double in a championship game, another over-under. In that triple-double, how many points did he have? Over-under 48 points. Ben?
Ooh.
I mean, that's what I'm going to go over.
Luka.
I'm looking
at the screen.
Though. It's funny though, because his name is Luka, my name is Lucas, and I find in Eastern Europe that Lucas is spelled with a K instead of the C like mine is.
Okay.
Because I actually know a Lucas in Germany.
Okay.
So his name is spelled the same way. Granted, his family's from Greece, but that's a long story. Yeah. Anyway.
Over under 48, Lucas.
I'm going to say under. I feel like this is one of the ones that you're trying to trap us on.
Yeah, I'm going to go under as well. That's crazy, though. 48 at 13?
Yeah, we'll get ready for this crazy. Ben, you're correct.
What?
It's over. And in the championship game, he had a triple-double, a 54-point triple-double.
At 13?
Yes. Luka was a bad man as a 13-year-old.
Hold up, was this with the adults or was this with like the youth league?
This was like a top tier youth league. It wasn't exactly adults, but it was from what I researched.
Sometimes they do play with adults that young, so that's why.
Right, from what I read, it was like there was still a youth league, but it was like the top notch youth league.
That's still pretty impressive.
Yeah. At age 17, Luka was the only EuroLeague player to average 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. In a quarterfinal game with Real Madrid, he went up against Kristaps Porzingis of Latvia. In that game, Luka scored 27 points on 14 shots. 2 days later, he helped beat Spain, who had Pau and Marc Gasol. Does anyone know the third NBA player from that Spanish team? Not you, Lucas. Let's give someone else a chance. Because you're going to jump in here.
Ooh, on a Spanish team.
On a Spanish team.
Ibaka?
Not Serge Ibaka. He was picked before Steph Curry.
Oh, that's easy. Come on, guys.
Ben?
Ben's
I don't know.
friends.
I don't.
All right, Lucas, who is
It's
it?
Ricky Rubio.
Yeah, it's Ricky Rubio.
Oh.
Yeah.
The fact
I
that he
should've thought
said
about
pick
that.
before Steph Curry. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Because I
should've thought
wasn't
about that.
sure. I wasn't sure which year we were talking about.
But
yeah, it's Ricky.
the context is this. Luka was a teenager, and he scored 27 points against Porzingis' team. And then in the next game, he helped beat a team that had 3 NBA players, Paul, Mark, and obviously Ricky Rubio.
What year was this again?
Oh, man. 2017, 2018.
So the
around that
Gasols
time.
were near the end of their prime. Ricky was still in his prime.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And the last thing about Luka Dončić led Real Madrid to the 2018 EuroLeague title, became the youngest player ever to earn EuroLeague and EuroLeague Final Four MVP honors. He also competed for the Slovenian national team and helped the squad to a gold medal finish at the Eurobasket 2017 games.
With the third pick in the 2018 NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Luka Dončić from Ljubljana, Slovenia, and Real Madrid.
Man, it has been quite a couple of days for Luka Dončić. We saw him hugging his mother there as Trae Young now sits and waits. We expect from what Woj just told us that Luka will be on his way to Dallas in the heir apparent as the franchise cornerstone after Dirk Nowitzki. As Woj pointed out, his contingent on Trae Young still being there and ultimately winding up with the Hawks. But this player is a guy internationally who is as proven and as scouted as any international player we've had, NBA draft expert.
All right, let's talk about Luka's overseas experience before he came to the NBA. Let's go to Maurice first. What stands out to you about Luka's early basketball journey?
Well, he was playing at a high level at a very young age. Scoring 52 points. Was it 52, 53? 50?
It was 54.
54.
Yeah.
54 points at 13. That's wild. It's just a certain amount of experience you can gain when you're playing at a international level at that age, and it's only going to translate. I mean, when he was drafted in the NBA, he was 18 years old, but he's had 6-7 years of experience playing at a good level, elite level.
Yeah. Lucas, what about you?
Here's the crazy part that we have to remember. Luka, and this, I'm assuming this was the case too when he was younger, and during the NBA, he has not been in the quote-unquote NBA shape. I would imagine that he had a similar problem in those leagues during this time. So he's doing this not in the best physical shape of his career. At a young age, against pros, like Uriah said, 3 current NBA players at the time. I promise you there were more players than that. I bet you Sergio Rodriguez was on that team. I bet you Rudy Fernandez was on that team as well.
Right.
Who knows who else was on that team. But that's impressive. Look, Spain has been a powerhouse. Spain and France were powerhouses in FIBA basketball for a long time. And the fact is that he knocked out Spain. Spain is not a joke. Even though they were older at that point, they're still not a joke.
Right.
And he probably did so out of shape. Or not in the best shape.
Or not having a grown man body.
Not having a grown man body. He still had baby fat on draft night, guys.
Yeah.
Mama walking up on stage with him with that baby fat.
I think he's a really good point guard. So it sounds like they put him at point guard. That's kind of the skill we see now. Yeah, I mean, it's why he's so good. He's been playing. He's that much advanced. He's essentially kind of like, I guess we don't see it too often, but like, you know, LeBron came into the league at 18 and just kind of developed. It would be almost like the European version of that, where this guy was always at such a high level at like 13, 14. You just knew. Yeah, I mean, what a treat. By the time he came into the league, he had all this experience at 19 years old. I'm actually impressed with that squad, that Latvia squad. Didn't they get like was it last year or the year before? Didn't they knock off? They got like second or third at the World Championships. You guys remember? Or was it the Olympics?
No, it wasn't the Olympics. Olympics are this year. Last year they didn't gold, but they were top 10 by the end of it.
I think was that World Championship?
It was like a year or two. I think they got second or third.
No, you're thinking of Serbia.
No, Luka's team.
Yeah, Luka's team.
It was like Dragic, and like he dragged them to. Yeah.
That was 2 years ago, and I know what you're talking about. I think it was FIBA though, not. No, not
let
FIFA.
me
anyway.
jump on that. Let me jump on that, Ben, because you mentioned Goran Dragic. There's a photograph out there. It's an ESPN article that I found for this episode, where in the photograph, Luka Doncic's dad is helping hold up a trophy after they won a medal, and you see a young Goran Dragic, and then in front of him is like maybe 12-year-old, maybe 11-year-old Luka Dončić wearing his green shirt. So Luka was around basketball. Like I said, when he was 7 months, he was holding a basketball. So he was immersed. He was immersed in that whole culture. So it makes sense that he became such a quick prodigy to go in, run point for teams that were old enough maybe to be his dad, right? So it's no surprise that Luka developed as fast as he did.
Yeah, I mean, like we see it with Steph Curry, right? It's like his dad played in the league, and especially with guard play, you're seeing it's funny, like in Hollywood, there's like Nepo babies, but it's different with basketball because it's a skill thing. But to learn those skills from a professional at a young age, like I think that's why we're seeing so many professional kids. Their parents are like, this is what worked for me, so like let's do this. And yeah, I forgot Luka does have his dad was a professional basketball player.
Yeah. That helps. Okay, here we go. For all the people who grew up in the 80s and 90s watching this player, you're going to love this part. So it's time to talk about Kodak, a.k.a. the Great White Hope, a.k.a. the Hick from French Lick, a.k.a. Larry Legend. And that, by the way, that nickname comes from him. That's a quote from Larry Bird himself, the Hick from French Lick.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. Before he got those nicknames, he was born Larry Joe Bird, December 7th, 1956. He was born in West Baden, Indiana, but he grew up in a small town called French Lick. Now, French Lick was a small town. Everyone kind of knew everyone. Over under, I'm going Lucas's way first. Over under the number of people that lived in the town of French Lick, over under 2,100.
I'm going to say under based off of what I saw on, was it Winning Time, Showtime? What is it? Whatever the...
It's Winning Time.
Winning Time, yeah.
All right, Maurice?
Under.
And Ben?
Under.
You are all correct. Yes. So the answer is 2,059 people. So that's how small his town was. Now, the crazy thing is, his high school gym where Larry Bird played, it would pack about 1,600 people just to watch him play basketball. So pretty much the whole town.
Yeah, that sounds like... I didn't even think they would have a gym that big in a town that small.
Yeah, apparently they did. Maybe there's some fire code things being broken. But so at some points growing up, Larry Bird's family was so poor they couldn't afford a car. So he would actually have to get rides to his games. Now, as a sophomore at Springs Valley High, Bird broke his ankle. But then it wasn't until his junior year that he would emerge as a star. He led his team to a 19-2 record. He became Springs Valley's leading scorer as a senior. Over under points per game in his high school career. Then over under 28 points.
Over.
Maurice?
Over.
And Lucas?
Over.
The answer is 31 points a game.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. And last over under for high school, let's go with rebounds. Over under rebounds, 20 rebounds a game. Maurice?
I'll go over.
Lucas?
I feel an under coming.
Okay, and Ben?
Over.
All right, Lucas, this is for you.
I just felt like it was too much.
I do try to trick you guys sometimes, just like you do for us. But anyway, so get this. Bird averaged 28 and 21. 21 boards a game. That is sick.
Yeah.
So by the end of his career, he averaged 24 points a game. All right, let's go. Any thoughts on Bird's high school career? Ben, what stands out to you about his high school?
It would have been the 70s, so not much, to be honest. He's small town, so would have been playing against like not many talented people just based off size. So that doesn't, and he's tall, so nothing about that surprises me. I actually would have thought even more points.
Okay, Maurice,
the rebounds It takes we don't know what his height was at that point in the 70s in high school, but we all know playing basketball, it takes a little bit more effort to rebound.
Yeah.
So even at that age, you could see, based off just statistics, his work ethic was there.
Absolutely. Lucas.
I'm just still floored that they had 1,600 people in a gym in the 70s. Because when I think of like a small town like that, have you guys ever played a small school in high school? Have you ever played against a small school in high school and been inside their gym?
Yeah.
They have maybe 3 or 4 rows of bleachers.
Right.
And the court might not even be full regulation size. And that's what I'm picturing when we're talking about this. And by the way, 3-point line, they may or may not have had that at that point. Because
no,
the 3-point,
they didn't have it yet.
So who knows how small the actual court was, right?
Yeah.
So that's the part that blows my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel bad for whoever was working the concession stand then.
Bad? What are you talking about? They probably made some cash.
I don't know. Yeah, it's true with the tips and everything. All right, so let's go on to Larry Bird's college career. So, interesting fact about Larry Bird's college start, and I'm going to start with a trivia question. As a freshman, Larry Bird was coached by a Hall of Fame coach. Does anybody know who that was? Let's go with Ben. You have an idea?
I'm going to say Indiana, Bob Knight.
Okay. All right, that is true. So you guys knew that. Okay.
Well, I actually didn't. I just guessed because of Indiana. I didn't know.
No, he went to Indiana as a freshman, and then he dropped out and then went to Indiana State.
Right. So that being said, Bird originally enrolled, to Lucas's point, at Indiana University after earning a scholarship. Now, the reason why he left, he got really homesick, and he said it was just too big, too many students. I guess he felt like he didn't fit in. Now, here's the really sad, crazy thing. And I think Lucas mentioned this about Winning Time, the HBO show. I learned a lot from that show too. But in my research, if you didn't know, Larry Bird's dad, unfortunately, took his life when he was in college. So I just can't even imagine like your dad taking their life at the most crucial point of your development. But anyway, so Bird.
When did that happen? When he was in college? I didn't. Wow.
Yeah. He just had shot himself with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Damn.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, during that traumatic time of his life, Larry Bird went back home. Yeah, he needed to make some money. He was always broke in college, he said. And he ended up working for a municipal service where he would cut grass, he would paint benches, and he even drove a garbage truck. And when he eventually decided to go back to college and he committed to Indiana State, he told all the guys he worked with on the garbage truck, and I quote, "I'll be going to get a little education. Then I'll be back to be the boss of you guys." So Larry's talking trash already to his coworkers.
That sounds right.
Yep.
That sounds right, though.
Exactly. All right. Over or under number of points that Larry Bird averaged as a Sycamore at Indiana State. Let's go with 35 points a game. Over under, Maurice.
Over.
Ben?
Under.
And Lucas?
I'll go under.
All right. The answer is under. He scored 30 points a game. Sorry, Maurice. So by the time he transferred, Larry Bird was so coveted as a college prospect that Red Auerbach drafted Larry Bird while he was still in school as the 6th pick in 1978. Crazy, right? In 1979, the most famous matchup between Larry Bird and Magic Johnson went down in the national championship. That season, Bird led Indiana State to an undefeated record and being the top school in the nation. Magic spoiled that record when Michigan State beat the Sycamores 75-64 in the title game. Last trivia for the segment. Who had a Sports Illustrated cover before they even played in the NBA? Magic or Larry? Maurice?
I think this is a trick question. I think it was both.
Lucas?
It feels like a Magic thing.
And Ben?
I'm going to say Larry.
Okay. This is for you, Maurice.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was a trick question. Yeah. They both had their own Sports Illustrated cover, which is back then is a big deal. Last thing on Larry Bird, he finished college averaging 30 points, 12 boards. And when he signed with Boston, he became the highest paid rookie in sports history, all sports, including NFL, with a 5-year, $3.25 million contract.
The rule at that time was that if you didn't declare for the draft, you became eligible for the draft upon the graduation of your class. You didn't have to graduate.
But most people did not want to make that pick because you have nothing for a year. And then if you don't sign him, he goes back into the draft. So it was a gamble. Red thought he could talk the guy into it. He thought he could go the year without the player.
But we were ideally positioned to take Larry that year, whereas others were not. But for the most part, the teams picking in front of us were concerned. They only had one pick. They needed to get a player that could play and could play then.
All right. What do we think about Larry Bird's college career? Anything stand out, either from the clip or what we talked about? Lucas?
I'm going to go with the fact that he was the 6th pick in the draft. Now, I know that Red picked him a year earlier than he was supposed to. However, let's look about who was ahead of him in that draft. Michael Thompson. Good, not great. Phil Ford. 7 seasons, 11-6 as a playmaker, right? Ricky Robbie, I don't know who that is.
I don't think any of us do.
Michael Ray Richardson.
Okay.
Oh, that guy. He
was a good player.
No, he doesn't. He have he's famous for being kind of I don't want to say a bust, but he had a tough life.
Ricky Robbie,
right?
Maybe, I don't know.
No, Michael Ray Richardson.
I mean, he played for 8 seasons, averaged 14, 5, and 7.
He had some off the court issues.
Yeah, there was a movie made about him or something.
Okay.
Anyway,
And then Purvis Short. Look, if he would have gone in the same draft as Magic, who would have gone first?
Ooh,
Magic would have was drafted the year after first overall.
That's a great question, but yeah. That's a great question.
I'd say Magic.
Yeah, I would say Magic.
Bigger. Michigan State's always been in a better conference.
If the teams had if the Lakers had the number 1 pick, they would have still took.
But here's the thing:
right.
At the time, James Cook was still the owner of the Lakers. James Cook was not the fan of Magic that Jim Buss was, right?
That's from Winning Time. That's from
Winning Time.
Man.
But I've read up some things too that it didn't seem like Cook was sold on Magic, and part of it was the rookie contract. I think.
Right.
I think they did get that part right in Winning Time.
So the Michael Ray Richards, I had to look it up. It was a TNT documentary, Whatever Happened to Michael Ray, narrated by Chris Rock. That's why I knew that name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indiana State, Lucas, is a weird, I've been there. Randomly, the NCAA cross country nationals are there. They have a really good course, D1.
Okay.
It's a big school. It's weird that it's not in a better conference. There's that kid. I don't know if you guys have seen that player on their kid, Avila, I want to say his name is. There's this kid. He looks nerdy. He's got goggles, but he can hoop. He's on Indiana State right now, so they're kind of trending.
Also, other fun fact, the player directly drafted after Larry Bird was Ron Brewer. He had a son in the NBA. Does anybody want to guess who his son was?
Corey Brewer?
Nope.
No? Randy Brewer?
Nope.
Man.
Maurice, Ben, you guys want to take a guess?
Unless he had a different last name.
I know Corey Brewer.
Rodney Brewer.
Oh, yeah. Ronnie
on the
Brewer.
Sixers?
No, he played for, I don't know if he played for the Sixers. Hang on. I know that he played
Rodney
for the Bulls.
Buford played for the Sixers.
Rodney Brewer. He played for the Bulls for a long time and Utah.
Oh,
I remember this because this was my heyday, guys. This was when I was falling in love with basketball.
Let's get back on track with Larry Bird.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. We're getting a little lost here. Maurice, can you give me something about Larry Bird's college experience or anything that you want to talk about?
Well, first, I don't think you can even draft a player 1 year early anymore. So that was back in the days where you can get away with, the Lakers and the Celtics trading for first round draft picks a year early. Because I think that's how the Lakers got Magic as well.
Yeah.
So you can't even do that anymore. But Red Auerbach is considered one of the best coaches and general managers ever, and for him to foresee Larry Bird being that much of a franchise setter for the Boston Celtics for the next generation, which is the 80s, it was a good job on his part because Larry Bird is synonymous with Boston Celtics, and Boston Celtics is synonymous with Larry Bird.
Absolutely. And Ben, what stood out to you?
I kind of want to know more about like what Indiana State, like it's not what stood out. It's just like, I'm curious of like, cause they're not as prominent now as a team. So I'm curious of like what,
I don't even think they're D1 AA. I think they're D2.
No, they're not. They're I'm sending you, I have to send you guys this kid. So they're D1. They're just in one of those smaller conferences.
Like the A10 or something?
No, A10 is actually mid-level. Like even smaller. Like I'm talking like Ryder, Lafayette, like Patriot League. They're like that. They're like Patriot League.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's interesting he went to that school. You're right. That he was at Indiana. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then he transferred, and then for personal reasons. So I think that's a cool story.
Yeah, I didn't even know that either. I thought he just committed to Indiana State, and then in the article that I read on ESPN, Larry Bird he put it out there that people speculated that there was a rift between him and Bobby Knight, but that wasn't it. It's not like they didn't get along. He just was homesick and he just wasn't ready to be away from home. So the one thing I'll say, what surprised me is the whole being drafted while he was still in school and Red Auerbach having the patience to say, you know what, this kid is worth waiting for. And as you heard in the clip, there was like speculation and like, is this going to work out? Will we be able to sign him? There was another thing that you guys didn't hear that I just wanted to share. Another team had 2 picks in that draft. It was Portland, but they had the number 1 pick. And I think Lucas mentioned Michael Thompson, right? He was that. So Portland had 2 picks just like Boston did. People speculate if Red Auerbach didn't have 2 picks, would they have chosen Larry Bird and waited? But because they had 2 picks, the 6 and the 8, they were like, let's go ahead. And if we miss on it, we miss on it. We at least still have the 8 pick. So that's something to consider. And that being said, Lucas, you ready for your segment?
Of course.
Second quarter. Statistics.
High pick and roll involving Luka and Powell on the double. Finney-Smith, Bullock, he's driving it and looks for Finney-Smith. It's a loose ball and Luka picks it up. Some Luka magic! Ain't nobody in this game who's got a knack for doing stuff like that than the Slovenian El Niño Maravilla.
The beauty of all of this is the ball movement is excellent. This time, Luka not able to make the pass, but the basket.
And now a 16-point advantage. With screens. Luka drives. Achua up on Luka. Luka has got him in the blender. And the rainbow! That, my friends, is Luka magic! What do you think?
I can't dance like this. And I certainly don't have the size to see over defense like that. So.
And it was Vanderbilt. He got this shot way down underneath there, and it's turned away by Dallas.
Oh, gosh.
Powell screens. Luka drives all the way. Tie game. Mavericks have quickly climbed the mountain, and they forced Will Hardy and the Jazz into a timeout.
So, let's get into the numbers. Luka is listed at 6'7", 230 pounds. He's also only worn 77 for the Mavericks. That being said, let's go into his best season. Outside of his rookie year, really hard to choose, to be honest with you guys. I'm going to use last year's, which is the 2022-23 season, and we're going to go with his points total now, which was 32.5. He averaged 8.5 rebounds, 8 assists, 1.5 steals, a half block, while shooting 49.6% from the field, shooting 34% from the three-point line, and 74% from the foul line. Okay, so that's pretty impressive. And like I said, outside of his rookie year, you can make a case that any of his years were his best years. Okay? Keep that in mind. But let's go to the career highs here.
And before you continue, Lucas, would we consider Luka a point forward?
I would say he's definitely a point guard. He calls himself a point guard. He doesn't usually defend point guards. Defensively, you would probably guard either the weaker of the 2 or the 3 position. But in terms of offensive role, he's definitely 100% a point guard. It was interesting. He didn't play point guard for most of his rookie season until like the last month or two, when then head coach Rick Adelman, no, not Rick Adelman, sorry, wrong decade, Rick Carlisle, said that he made a mistake by not putting the ball in his hands earlier.
Okay.
So that being said, I got the game highs here now. It was small because he hasn't played that long. Guys, this guy's only 24. He's in his 6th season right now. So let's look at the career high. So I think we all know his career high. It happened this season. Who can tell me what it is?
73.
73. Only 3 other players have gotten 73 or higher. Who are those other 3 players? Tell me.
Yeah, I know that one. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ben.
Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
And Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay. Who's the third one?
Over 73?
I know who it is.
Over 73 or over. Yep. Who is it, Maurice?
David Thompson.
David Thompson.
Oh,
no, not David Thompson. David.
Wait. David
Robinson had 71.
Is this
Right.
David Robinson or David Thompson? See,
David Robinson had 71.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's David Thompson, yeah. So let's look at his other career highs. Now, career high for rebounds, over under 20. Maurice.
Over.
Ben.
Over.
And the answer is 21.
Yeah.
With assist, he's also had a 20 assist a game back in his 3rd season. Pretty impressive for a guy. Like I said, he's a point guard. There's no point forward here. He's a point guard. Outside of that, he has a career high 5 steals and 4 blocks. Uriah, just to recap here, 73 points, 21 rebounds, 20 assists, 5 steals, 4 blocks, 9 turnovers. So he hasn't even had double-digit turnovers for a guy that with the high usage that he has. So, based off of that information that I gave you guys right here, what do you guys think? Let me go with Ben first.
I watch a lot of Luka, so he's a guy I put on, him and like Ja Morant.
Okay.
Or whenever they're on, I'll try and watch their games. Nothing really surprises me because I watch it a lot. I just think his usage, and I like that you asked Maurice about the point guard thing. He is a point guard in the way James Harden kind of was, but you just don't see point guards that do everything for you.
Yeah.
In the way that I'd say Harden's the only guy recently that you've seen. Houston Harden, that scores and facilitates. And yeah, he's just as good of a passer as he is a scorer. He had a crazy stat line. Do you guys remember that? It was like 60, 20, 10. Do you remember that?
I remember that, yeah.
It was an OT last year. And that just shows you how useful he is to his team. And then the 73-point game, I put it on my phone. I watched it. They needed all 73 points to win. So unfortunately, it's not his fault. There's this thing going around NBA Twitter. You guys have probably seen it. It's a picture of him, KP, and Jalen Brunson. So I think management has not. They should have kept that core. But Kyrie needs to get healthy. But I don't think they've particularly surrounded him with the best players. Would be his numbers are, I wouldn't say inflated, but they need every point, every assist, every rebound to win a game.
Maurice, what about you, bud?
There's a lot of amazing stats. I think we need to keep in mind. He's 24.
He's 24. That is absolutely right. He's in his 6th season. He's 24.
24 years old. He's done all this already. I think we all can agree that at some point he's going to be MVP, maybe multiple-time MVP.
It might even happen this season. Who knows?
Might happen this year. It's wide open right now.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, you're right. What do you think?
So I think when you mentioned the stat, his shooting numbers for that season, 49% on the high usage is pretty good. And he does take a lot of perimeter shots, but his touch around the rim is really, really remarkable. His vision is outstanding. The one thing I think Ben was talking about, the passing. One thing I remember reading when I researched his background is in Europe, they don't have a 3-second violation. So the way they play defense, Luka, I think he admitted for him to be effective as a distributor, he was forced to watch guys as they're going to the basket, cutting any open space that he has to be precise with his passing. So it just makes sense that not just Luka, but any European player that is used to those rules when they come to the NBA, they kind of have an advantage because they're forced to be crafty and patient with the basketball. So I would say his shooting in the passing.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up because I've heard multiple European players say in interviews that it's a lot easier to score in the NBA than in Europe, and that is one of the main reasons why. And that's why some European bigs can't translate to the NBA because they have the guarding space more.
Right.
Absolutely.
But in terms of like Dallas all-time greats, Luka doesn't have that many records, surprisingly. You know, there's even one guy, I've never heard of him. His name is Fat Lever, who has
Fat Lever. I know Fat Lever.
He has the highest steal percentage in Mavericks history. But Luka does hold one interesting record, and I want you guys to remember this when I get to Larry's stats, too, with Boston. Luka has the most triple-doubles in Mavericks history with 65 career. Okay,
already. Wow.
65 career. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's 24. He has 65 career. He leads he has one or two other areas like player efficiency, usage rate, box plus minus, offensive plus minus. But like overall, the one that really stuck out to me was the triple doubles. And that's key when we get to Larry.
28 seconds. Bird. Slap pass to Archibald.
Beneath him and probably with a little off balance.
Bird with the steal behind the back to Nate Archibald. Back to Bird.
All right. Fantastic.
That's the highlight film, John. You can count it down with me. Bird inbounds. It comes to Maxwell. Max puts it on the floor. We're down to 6. Bird in the corner. Double fake. Jumper. It's good! Larry Bird hits it with 2 seconds left. There's 14. Bird, little fake down the lane. Oh, Larry Bird! What a play by Bird!
Right, too tiny.
Larry, a little fake down the lane between the legs to Rody. Goodness foul! Oh, we got to see that one again. Very nice fella. Used to coach at Penn. Bird along the baseline, underneath to Maxwell. Ball is Max on the offensive board on the cut to Bird. Swings through, little reverse. Layup is good.
How did he make that one? I want to tell you, I didn't think he was going to shoot it.
Kept in bounds by Lee. Great play. Stolen by Bird at half court. Off to McHale. Back to Bird. Larry stops. Jumper. Good.
So, Larry was listed at 6'9", 220 pounds. So despite Luka being shorter, he weighs more. Granted, players were built differently back in the 80s. So keep that in mind. Also, Larry wore 33, which has been retired by the Celtics, of course. Interesting that they both have double this repetitive number for both of their jersey numbers, 33 and 77. All right. Larry didn't wear any other numbers. Now, let's go to the numbers here. First off here, it's hard because Larry had multiple MVP seasons. I'm not going to ruin how many he had for Ben's sake. I went with the 84-85 season. He averaged 28.7 points, 10.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 1.5 steals, 1 block, while shooting 52.2% on field goals. On 22 attempts, by the way, 22 attempts. He shot 42.7% on three-pointers, and he shot 88.2% on foul line shots. Now, I should note that there was a season that Mr. Bird did go 50-40-90. Now, he did not win the MVP that year, but he did go 50-40-90. That was the 86-87 season when he averaged 28 points, 9 rebounds, 7.5 assists, while shooting 52.5% from the field, 40% from the three-point line, and 91% from the foul line. Do you guys remember who won the MVP in 86-87?
Probably Magic.
Yeah,
it's probably Magic.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably one of the more controversial MVPs if I had guessed from that era of basketball. Yeah. Now let's go to the career high. Career high 60 points, okay? Career high over under 22 rebounds. Uriah.
22 boards. I'll go over.
Maurice?
Over.
Ben. Are you looking it up?
Under. No, I had there's a calendar thing. Sorry.
Listeners, if you can't see his face, Ben was looking at the camera.
No,
really
I was not.
On something.
All right. I had a count. There's a calendar button right underneath the mic button. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
no, so you under. Okay. Under.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Ben is right. It is 21, the same as Luka.
Okay.
So that's interesting. He also had a career high 17 assist game. Now, for whatever reasons, they didn't compute all of his career highs from 81 to 83 for like steals, blocks, turnovers, all that stuff. They had it for his rookie season, which is weird. So they didn't compute that. So I have to look here. I believe he had a career high, based off the numbers that are available, 9 steals and 5 blocks, as well as 10 turnovers. That's pretty interesting. Pretty similar to Luka in terms of career highs, too.
Right. Yeah.
Which I find interesting. So, based off of those stats, what do you guys think? I'm going to start with Maurice this time.
Now, not to steal my own thunder here because this is your segment, but the Celtics have always had a good roster constructed around Larry Bird.
Yeah.
So for Larry Bird to have a career high of 60, and I think there's a story behind that as well, because I think
he got somebody challenged him or something.
Yeah, Kevin McHale, his teammate, had 50 something.
Yeah, he had 50
right
something, and then Larry was just like, "Nah, I'm gonna beat you."
Set my own thunder. We're going to talk about stats and accolades, but Larry Bird's competitiveness was on next level. It really was.
I don't think the only other there's only been 2 players, in my opinion, that's been more competitive than Larry Bird. Can you guess who they are?
Magic and Michael.
Not even Magic. Michael and Kobe.
Okay.
All right.
I think those 2 have been when I think of competitive, overly competitive, I think you're so competitive, you're jerks to your teammates. Larry was that. MJ was that. Kobe was that.
Yeah. It's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't even think we've seen the full potential of Larry Bird because he always had a great team around him. I don't think we've seen the full potential of what he could do, specifically scoring-wise. He could have scored 80 points, in my opinion, in a game.
Larry or Luka?
Larry.
Okay. Well, I mean, it never happened, so we'll never know for sure.
Yeah, we'll never know. Yeah.
What do you think, Uriah?
I think you said a number, Lucas.
Yeah.
22 shot attempts.
Yeah, that was his second MVP season, the one that I went with. Yeah.
But the point is that's remarkable. He's a good shooter. He's always been a good shooter. And to Maurice's point, he always had the right players around him, so he didn't need to shoot high volume, over 30 shots a game. And his shot form, if you're comparing Luka to Larry, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but their shot is very similar, like a slow release. Larry Bird's was kind of right.
I think Larry has a higher release point, but how they release, I think you're right.
Right. It's not like a Ray Allen jump shot, like textbook, or a Reggie Miller jump shot.
It's not a quick release. No, it's a slow build up.
It's a slow build up, but they're both accurate when they shoot. They're both reliable scorers. The vision was always there. And just real quick about the competitive thing that you guys were talking about, Magic and Larry, that rivalry, they didn't even shake hands the first time they played in the NBA back in 1980.
I believe I'm not saying that Magic isn't competitive, but there's a different type. You know what I mean?
I think the point is Larry, it takes 2 to tango. Larry didn't want to shake his hand either. Mm-hmm. And here's one, I'll one up you on that. Bird was so competitive that when he signed a shoe deal with Converse, which was the same brand that Magic Johnson had sneakers with, Bird made sure that he was paid exactly $1 more than Magic Johnson. So Maurice, that whole story with McHale, it resonates. It's across the board, very competitive.
Yeah.
This is making me want to watch the Winning Time. I haven't seen it yet.
It focuses less on the basketball, but it does bring out the pettiness between Bird and Magic for sure.
And to go back to the competitive for Larry Bird, Winning Time ends. The series ends with Larry Bird winning.
Yeah, which seems like the worst ending.
It does.
It wasn't supposed. It got canceled. It wasn't supposed to end.
Well, and by the way, just want to shout out Daryl Reynolds, who played Robert Parrish. Daryl Reynolds has been a guest on one of my other podcasts multiple times. Just want to give Daryl a shout out there.
Nice.
But look, I mean, the stats are pretty efficiency wise. Bird was there, and I mean, it's hard to get 50, 40, 90. It's really hard. He was short in 2 categories, a couple others, a category 2 or 3 other seasons. But the guy, I think the fact is that he was so efficient about it too. It's not like he was putting up Kobe numbers and being inefficient, because sometimes Kobe was inefficient. We can agree there. He was so efficient, and I'm not saying that Luka's not. I mean, Luka's been pretty darn efficient too in his career. Yeah. But I mean, he's never shot over 50% from the field.
Going back to the age, he's only 24. Let's see what Luka does at 28.
I was about to say, Larry didn't start in the NBA until he was 23. So
how about that? Yeah.
How about that?
I would say the assist stood out, 7.5 assists. He played more power forward at times. So the rebounds weren't surprising, but the 8 assists is surprising, given the fact that he wasn't dribbling the ball up the court. Like Luka is a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
He has the ball. His usage rate is of a point guard. So Larry Bird to get that many assists is surprising.
Well, I mean, you look at his career numbers. He averaged 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 6.3 assists. That's pretty good. Six assists for
I mean, it makes sense that the teammates that he had, so it makes sense he would get assists.
Mm-hmm.
That one season you said 7.5 surprised me.
Yeah, 7.5. That way, he actually did that twice. He won over 7 assists in 3 seasons that he averaged over 7 assists. Okay, so he was pretty just spectacular in terms of playmaking at that point. Now I want to go to Boston all-time greats. Now, where he ranks. Now, it's interesting because, honestly, Larry does not hold a lot of awards. Most of them are either like the old-timers like Havlicek, Cousy, Robert Parrish. Technically, Robert Parrish was in his time, too. But he also leads the Boston Celtics, just like Luka, in career triple-doubles. He has 59 career triple-doubles. So Luka, only playing 6 seasons, has more triple-doubles than Larry did in 13.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. And honestly, I'm looking at, I don't think Larry has, offensive win shares. He has, I think that's another one that him and Luka both have. It's unbelievable that the fact that they both lead their respective franchises in career triple-doubles. And that Luka's already passed him in that.
Third quarter, accolades.
Rookie of the Year is
Luka Dončić. Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to congratulate Trey and DeAndre for amazing seasons, and not just them. The whole rookie class. I think it's amazing, and we can make something big. And after, I want to thank my family, my girl, Kike, Bill, Rick, my team, my whole teammates. So thank you very much.
All right, that is a clip of Luka Dončić accepting his Rookie of the Year award. As you can see, in the last 5 or 6 years, his English has gotten a lot better. Not that it was ever that bad, but it's gotten a lot better because he has a sense of humor. This guy's got a lot of awards, and he's got a lot more coming. So he was NBA Rookie of the Year. He was All-NBA Rookie First Team. He won the Rookie of the Year over Trae Young, who he was traded for. All right, guys, let's get into it. How many times, I'm going to start with you, Uri, has Luka Dončić, and this will probably be another one, has he been All-NBA First Team? Remember, he's only in his 6th year.
All-NBA First Team?
First Team.
I'll say twice.
Okay.
2 times.
Lucas?
I'm going to agree with Uri. I'm going to say twice.
Okay, and Maurice?
Once.
You guys... We were all wrong.
What?
4 times.
He was?
What? Really?
He's
4
been
times?
all NBA First Team 4 times.
So you mean outside of his rookie year in his second year, he's made all NBA First Team?
Second to 5th season, this guy's been all NBA First Team.
He's probably gonna make all NBA First Team again this year.
And maybe the next 5 years. Yeah. He's literally the second season in the league at 20. He was all NBA First Team as a guard. It's really impressive. So, I mean, you got Steph Curry, you got that was a stat that kind of blew me away. And it makes sense if you think about it, because he's just been putting up insane numbers. And his team, I think, always, they didn't make the playoffs last year, but he's had a competitive team. Different coaches, different iterations, but they typically are always a playoff team.
Huh.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna get into some of his Euro basketball stuff.
I was curious about what awards he got in there. He got MVP there once, right?
Yeah. So I guess I'll ask this question. Well, Lucas just answered it, but
I'm sorry. That's the only thing I know that.
No, it's fine. He is the 2018 EuroLeague MVP, which is a very, very big feat. Mm-hmm. And he was, I believe he was 18 or 19 years old. He was 19 years old. And so this is right before he was drafted in the league. He was the EuroLeague MVP, which is why he was a top 3 draft pick. He was the EuroLeague Final Four MVP, EuroLeague First Team 2018. And I guess my question is, what year do you guys think he started playing professionally and winning awards?
So I know you can't play professional until you're 15 out there. So I know it has to be 15. Now, when he started winning award, I have no idea.
All right, I'm going to start with Uriah.
2016.
Maurice?
2016, that would have made him 16.
He was 16.
Okay.
16.
Yep. Okay.
So he was a FIBA Intercontinental Cup champion in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
EB Next Generation Tournament. So, and mind you, he might have been 15, turning 16, because his birthday is the end of February. He's about to be 25 later this month. He was a 3-time Liga ACB champion in 2015. And then he has quite a list, which is kind of impressive because he was a teenager. Spanish Kings Cup winner 2016, 2017, best young player 2017, 2018 in the ACB, Liga ACB MVP. So in 2018, he just kind of dominated the EuroLeague. Right. He was the MVP of multiple leagues. This Liga ACB MVP 2018, as well as the EuroLeague MVP. He was part of the Olympic All-Star team in 2020, which is really 2021. All right, let's get back to his NBA accolades. How many times do you guys think he has made the All-Star team? I'm going to go with, this was just announced. We're recording this in February, so the 2024 team was announced. I'm going to go with Maurice.
Well, he was first team All-NBA for 4 years, so you count this year as 5. I'm going to go 6.
All right, Uriah?
I'll go 5.
All right, and Lucas?
I'll also go 5.
Lucas and Uriah, you are correct.
Because that 6th year would have counted as rookie season.
Yeah. In the rookie, he didn't.
Okay.
He put up really good numbers his rookie year, but he didn't. No.
Nah. And those numbers were slightly inflated at the end because he hadn't been playing point guard until like last season. Because I think he was averaging like 19 or 18 points a game prior to the switch.
That's pretty much it for his accolades. I mean, it's a lot of Euro stuff. Basically, outside of his rookie year, the guy has always been pretty much a top 5 player. Yeah. That's insane.
That is
insane. I mean, it sounds like Larry Bird.
I'm going to pass it over to you guys. Like, what stands out?
Once again, this might be the theme of this for at least Luka. His age is so important here. You can't ignore the fact that at 24 years old, he's doing things that veterans in their 30s have not done yet. Anytime you talk about all-star appearances, you have to equate the respect your teammates and your current players around the league have for you to put you in that upper echelon of the best 10 players in the world, or at least the best 5 in your conference. That matters. And for Luka to be that well respected and be, in all actuality, maybe the second guard, maybe right now the best guard in the Western Conference, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
you're right. What stands out to you?
I think his age really stands out, but also when it comes to his awards, being in Europe and playing amongst grown men when you're just a teenager, that's such a great preparation for the NBA.
Yeah,
because the rules, I guess, kind of cater toward his game, which is being a distributor, obviously being a shooter, more movement. But at the same time, if we're comparing Larry Bird to Luka Dončić, they both came into the league ready to contribute. Whether Larry Bird didn't play overseas or had a lot of experience as a youngster or not, they both came into the league and they were scoring like over 20 points a game. Now, the one thing that I think Luka had to his advantage in this comparison is his dad played pro ball. And so Luka's passion for basketball came at an early age in an environment that was conducive to him learning quickly and becoming a prodigy. Larry Bird grew up poor. I can only imagine the type of basketball nets that they were shooting on.
Could have been crates. You never know.
Yeah, crates. Yeah. So Larry Bird growing up in a rural area, small town, and, obviously the tragedy with his dad, dealing with all that, I feel like that shaped his personality into what it was. And I think that's what makes him so great. And Luka, not to take anything away from him, I think being so young and dominating at such an early age is special, like Maurice was saying. But comparatively, I think Luka just is a little bit, I guess, luckier, I guess I would say, to be in the position that he's in.
To really sum that up, it's Larry Bird's work ethic and his competitiveness versus Luka being a prodigy.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, he was on Real Madrid from 2015 to 2018. He's kind of only really been on 2 professional teams, which is kind of cool. But it would be, I think, the NBA equivalent or the American basketball player equivalent would be like almost like playing on like Kentucky at 15, 16.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of what it feels like. Like he was playing against and he was playing already against with NBA players that had played in the league. So it's almost not even a really comparison, but that's what it feels like. So he had a couple years ahead of even what we have out in the States.
I mean, even the top, like maybe the AAU circuit might be the closest thing that we got, but like not really. Like I think G League Ignite is probably better, but like you said, you can only do that at like 17, 18. So not the same. That being said, the biggest thing that stuck out to me is the first team All NBAs. Now I knew that he made it last year, and I thought that he made it at least 2 times, but like still. But I mean, the numbers support it. I mean, the guy's been dominant, and he's only gotten better. After his first season, averaged no less than 27 points per game.
Wow.
And if you round it up, it's 28.
Yeah.
His career average right now is 28.5 points per game in 6 seasons. That includes his rookie season when he only averaged 21 points.
Right.
I was going to have Bill Walton write my speech tonight. They say his speeches are a lot longer than his career was, so we'll try to stay away from that. Tell you one quick story about Coach Fitch. Back in 1980, when I first came to the Boston Celtics, when we went on to our road trips, we had a thing called seniority. Sometimes there wasn't enough first-class seats for all of us. So, of course, the rookies and the 1 or 2 year veterans had to go to the back of the plane. Well, I did that the first 2 or 3 road trips, and one day I was sitting at the airport, and I was just thinking, wondering what kind of ticket I'm going to get today. Am I going to get a pink ticket for first class? Am I going to get a white ticket for coach seat? Well, we just came off a 3-game road trip, and I played very well, so I thought, well, this is the time to make my move. Ray Melchiori came by. Sure enough, he handed me a white boarding pass. I said, excuse me, Ray, you go tell Coach Fitch that I'm a first-class player. I expect a first-class seat. Of course, Ray came back, and Coach Fitch says, tell him to get his butt on the plane. I've always considered myself a very proud individual. I've always said I was very proud to come from a small town, French Lick in West Baden, Indiana. I was always very proud to spend 4 great years in Terre Haute, Indiana, and Indiana State University. And guess, I'm very proud to say I spent 13 years playing for the Boston Celtics.
All right, that is Larry Bird. Uriah, is that him accepting his Hall of Fame? Yeah.
Yeah, and the one thing that is astounding to me, if you go and watch the clip on YouTube, standing ovation, okay, 30 seconds goes by, 60 seconds go by, and I start looking, I'm like, and then I hit the fast forward button, 15 seconds. These people would not sit down. He had like a 2.5 minute standing ovation. I was like, this is crazy. Like, that's how much respect he has around the NBA.
All right, so let's talk about Larry Bird. I mean, there's a lot of similarities is what I'm going to start with that we kind of were just talking about with Luka and his accolades. Biggest difference, I would say, we kind of mentioned it, is so Larry Bird was essentially almost a 5th-year senior because of the transfer thing, and he was drafted early. He really didn't start playing in the league till he was 23 years old. He's a little bit older, as Luka's about to turn 25 in his 6th year. So I'm going to start this off. just because this is what Luke had. How many All-NBA first teams did Larry Bird have? I'm going to go with Uriah first.
Oh, my goodness. I have no idea. First teams?
First team.
I'll go 8.
Lucas?
10.
Maurice?
It's double digits. I'm going to say 11.
You were all wrong.
What?
It is not. It is 9. This is where it's very Luka, like, it was 9 straight.
Wow.
And he did it.
After the rookie season?
No, his rookie year, he got All-NBA first team.
Yeah.
No way.
1979.
I mean, they had who? They had Dr. J. Who else was at the? He played power forward, right? So,
1980 was technically the award would have been given in 80.
Okay,
so he got All-NBA first team his rookie year.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, All-NBA first team, and then 9 straight years all the way through 88. He was All-NBA second team in 1990. I'm guessing he had some sort of injury in 89.
Yeah,
because there was no.
Yeah, he only played
given.
Less than 10 games, I think.
Yeah.
And then there was another season that he played like 20.
Yeah. So injuries kind of caught up with him. You don't really think of him as a defensive player, but was he ever part of the All-NBA defensive team?
I feel like the fact that you're asking this, that he has to be. So what team was he?
How many?
Doesn't matter.
All right, so he's 3-time All-NBA second team, 3 years in a row.
Really? Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, surprised me. 82 to 84.
Yeah, he always had, like, you hear the clips, Bird with the steal. He was
Yeah.
always in the passing lane, so you got to give
He was
him
like
credit.
he was in there, like in their fights. All right, so Larry Bird is a 3-time NBA champion. 1981, 1984, and 86. He obviously battled the Sixers in his own conference, and then, of course, the Lakers. So it was pretty much those 3 teams winning championships throughout the 80s. And then he is a 2-time NBA Finals MVP in the 84 and 86.
Wait a second. Who won it the third time when they went to the finals? Because they won 3 during his time, right? So
in his second year, he won a chip. So it would have been 81. So that's a good question. I'm gonna let's guess. Let's take a guess. Who won the?
Okay, Robert Parrish wasn't on the team. Neither was Kevin McHale, right?
No, not yet.
So who was on the team?
Well, that's kind of my segment.
Wow, you guys, you guys are not gonna. This is kind of Maurice's segment. Let's save it for Maurice, maybe.
Okay.
Let's save it because that's actually.
It was a good question. It's a good question because
I think I know who it is, but I'll get
no. Let's note it because it is a shocker. It's like an Andre Iguodala level. Like what?
Hold up, is it Dennis Johnson?
No,
nope. No. Let's save it. Let's save it. Moving on.
Sorry.
So this is Larry Bird's most impressive accolade. Larry Bird is a 3-time MVP. He's also 3 years in a row. And there's controversy because LeBron, they say, could have done it. Even weirdly, Jokic could have. Giannis could have. But 3 straight MVPs. All right?
Okay.
He's one of only 3 players to ever do it.
MJ?
Who are the 2 other players? I'm going to start with Lucas since you just said one.
Sorry. MJ and I'm going to go with Kareem.
Okay. Uriah?
I'm going to go with, that sounds really good, Lucas, but I want to be different. I'm going to go MJ and Oscar Robertson.
Ooh.
All right, Maurice?
Oh, wait a second. I know the answer and I just messed it up.
Maurice?
Michael Jordan and Elgin Baylor.
No, we're all wrong.
You guys are all wrong. So
yes, the answer
I
is
purposely
Wilt.
did. I purposely didn't say MJ because probably because he retired, but he actually never got 3 in a row.
Really?
MJ and LeBron have never gotten 3 in a row. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, Barkley got one from MJ, and I think Karl Malone got one from MJ.
Yeah. So he could have done it. Barkley got one, and then he retired. I think he would have gotten one if he didn't. Anyway, it is Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh, I knew Wilt was one of them.
Only other 2 guys.
I thought Wilt
won
was
3
one.
straight.
I was like, as soon as I said, I'm like, wait a second, Wilt.
That to me that's a really hard stat to get because it just requires like your team to be good. There's so much that happens. So that's
and there was a lot
impressive.
less teams and talent in the league at that point too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right, guys. How many All-Star games has he been a part of? Uriah?
I'm going to say 11.
Maurice?
Well, selected to and being a part of are two different things. I know he missed a couple because of injury.
Selected to.
Yeah, I want to say 12.
Okay.
I'm going to side with Uriah on this one and say 11.
Maurice, you're correct.
What?
Yeah, 12. He's a 12-time All-Star. Okay. He was the 1982 in his third year, the NBA All-Star Game MVP.
Okay.
He was a 3-time three-point contest champion.
Yep, we knew that.
3 years in a row. And then Lucas mentioned this. How many times was he 50, 40, 90 club? We know that he was a part of it, but how many times? Let's go with Lucas first.
No, don't go with me because I know the answer.
Okay, then Uriah.
I'll go 3 times.
Maurice?
I will say 3 as well.
Lucas knows the answer.
Just once.
Nope. It's twice.
Wait, what was the other season?
87 and 88.
We're all wrong. Lucas was a little overconfident.
What?
No, because when I was going through his
wait
stats,
for me.
I didn't
I know the answer.
87, 88.
Yeah, I got that one. Where's the other one?
No, there's 2 years. 87 and 88. 2 years. So 86, 87,
okay.
And 87, 88. He was 2-time. And then he's AP Athlete of the Year in 86. NBA
he's
50th
right.
team, 75 team.
They don't still. I'm sorry to cut you off, man. They also do the AP award, do they?
No, they don't. No, they
That's like the IBM award.
Yeah, we don't count that anymore.
And then going back to his college stuff, we kind of mentioned his college. He was the consensus first team All-American, 88, 78, and 79. He was the National College Player of the Year in 79. I believe he got that over Magic. So their rivalry started in college. The Mountain Valley Conference, guys. So that's why I was comparing it to the Patriot League. I looked up the Missouri Valley College. Missouri Valley Conference. Okay, wow. Say that 3 times. That's the conference he's in. It's like it consists of like 3 or 4 Midwestern states, and anyway, it's still a pretty small conference. He was part of the Dream Team, and Larry Bird was not done. As we know, has Larry Bird ever been the NBA Coach of the Year?
Yes.
Indiana Pacers. Right?
Yeah, first year.
Yep, in 1988, and that team 98, and then he did take the Pacers to the NBA Finals, where they unfortunately
ran into
Shaq and Kobe and Phil Jackson.
Who was it? The center, Rick Smits.
Rick Smith.
He was good. He was good, man.
Yeah,
that was a good team.
But he was
Mark
skinny.
Jackson. Yeah, that was such a good team.
Yeah.
Larry Bird was also a very successful coach. He coached the All-Star team. And he was also named NBA Executive of the Year in 2012.
Yep, for that Pacers team that challenged the LeBron's Heatles.
Yeah, he didn't have that long of a career, but know that he was a pretty old rookie. So he did retire. He did technically retire at like 35,
which is normal. Okay.
But his career, he actually his last games were the Dream Team. They weren't him playing for the Pacers, the Celtics. Yeah, 35, 36, not bad. But again, I think he would have had a longer career had he played earlier. All right, guys, what stands out? I mean, that's quite a long list.
It's a lot.
But I'm going to start with Uriah.
So what stands out to me is how Lucas claimed to know the answer.
Thought I didn't look.
And then he was
we
completely wrong.
We all get deceived by what our eyes look at, okay? We all get deceived.
It's so fun.
Okay.
All right, so back to Bird. I think the one thing that stands out to me is he is just a flat out winner, man. Like, forget awards. He just wins. He makes everyone around him better, which is very similar to what Luka does. He plays basketball the right way. He trash talks, but he doesn't go overboard. Like, in the media, he's humble. I remember growing up, he didn't really have a lot to say. And what's different from what Luka's going through now with what Larry did, there was a lot of racial tension going on. I mean, obviously,
they
Celtics,
called him
Lakers,
the big white hope. I mean, that's
right. But he was comfortable in his own skin enough to acknowledge, like, hey, at this point in the NBA, the quote unquote black players are I guess the most athletic and most competitive. So he looked at that, and he's kind of like the Eminem, of the NBA. He just recognized he was comfortable in his own skin, but he knew he was good at what he did, and he just wanted to win. He wanted to be the best, and it's something that you always have to admire about Larry Bird and appreciate, and to know that Luka is not far behind. He's on his way to accumulating accolades that Ben mentioned in his segment.
Well, you bring up the racial factor here. Just a funny side note: who's seen the original Space Jam?
I did. I think we all did.
Yeah.
Who's not seen it?
Okay. Do you remember the part where Larry and MJ were golfing with Bill Murray?
Yes, I know what you're gonna say.
And Larry and Bill was talking to MJ like, "Hey, you know what? I can't play because I'm white." He's like, "Larry's white." He's like, "No, he's what was the term?"
He's like, "Larry's clear."
Clear, yeah, he's clear. He's clear. He's reflected. He's something. It was funny, but it's true. Like most people don't think of Larry Bird in terms of his game. They don't see him as a white guy play.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
and to that, there was a controversial moment when Isaiah Thomas said that if Larry Bird wasn't white, he would be considered just another basketball player.
Right.
And I think Isaiah regretted that because Larry Bird can ball.
Yes.
He can ball. Mm-hmm. It didn't matter what his skin color was. He was a baller, and he was one of the best players of his era. He could put buckets on anybody, from Magic to Dominique Wilkins to eliminating Michael Jordan and the Bulls from the playoffs. Larry Bird was a bad man. It didn't matter what his skin color was.
And Maurice, you mentioned Isaiah. I think Dennis Rodman jumped in on that train and created some racial tension. But you love that Larry didn't retort. He didn't come back with a snarky remark. He let his play do his talking, and the rings and titles show for it.
Yeah, and not to compare, I know we're not comparing this player, but Larry did, it is worth mentioning, as we're segueing into Maurice's thing, he did come into a very good team, just like Magic did. And so, and I would say Kobe as well, because his winning is not, basketball's a team sport, so he kind of lucked into that.
Yeah. But going back to the actual accolades, I think the thing that shocked me the most was the defensive ones. I was not ready to hear that.
Yeah, it's a good one. A good grab.
Yeah, and real quick, we're comparing Luka and Larry Bird, and we always think of, first of all, shooting and scoring, but both of them really created their skill sets are really created around their facilitating. Luka Magic, and Larry Bird was a great passer as well. I think I had a quote from Larry Bird. He said, it doesn't matter who scores the points. It's who can get the ball to the score. And Luka pretty much reiterates the same thing. He likes to get his teammates going and get them and make them better throughout the game. And, their offense comes from that. When we do these comparisons, one skill set usually brings both players together. And in this case, it's definitely passing, at least for me.
Cool.
All right, Maurice. We've talked accolades. We've talked stats. Let's hear about Luka's teammates.
Let's go.
Fourth quarter, teammates.
How early were you familiar with Dončić before joining your team? And then what surprised you about him throughout the season? What has surprised you about this?
I heard about him, obviously, when they won the European Championship with Slovenia. Everybody said there was a young kid on the team, and he could play. And then I followed a little closer the following year in the EuroLeague when they were in Madrid. And I didn't really see a whole game, but saw some highlights, and I thought he could play. But I think he exceeded those expectations. He's really an all-around package on the offensive end, whether it's the shot, the drives, the floaters, the passes. He's a big guard. He can see over some of those traps they've been throwing at him, and so he's tough to guard because he's got the whole package offensively, and his basketball IQ is out of this world from 19. I mean, he's not even 20 yet, so. he'll be fun to watch and hopefully for Mavs fans for a long, long time.
All right, so that was Dirk Nowitzki talking about a young Luka Dončić. For Luka coming into the league and being drafted by the Atlanta Hawks, which I kind of think the Atlanta Hawks kind of regret that trade nowadays for Trae Young. But traded to the Dallas Mavericks draft night in the 2018 draft. Dirk Nowitzki was the, what you want to call it, the OG, the future Hall of Famer that showed Luka the ropes his rookie year.
Yeah.
What would it have been like if we got a couple years of a younger Dirk with Luka?
Imagine if Luka got drafted the year after their championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Maurice, you know what's funny is we talked about this in another segment. Steve Nash kind of passed it on to Dirk, and it's kind of the what if. I mean, they're closer in age, but yeah.
So the 2018-2019 Dallas Mavericks team, this was actually a really good roster, I must say, for Luka's rookie year. But first off, he played with Antetokounmpo. You guys know which one?
Oh gosh, the one that starts with a K. Costas?
Costas.
Yeah, there we go. I knew it.
Costas. We had a short career. I don't think he's in the league now.
No, he's not. He might be on a two-way with the... Who knows?
His other teammates, J.J. Barea, Harrison Barnes, Jalen Brunson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Tim Hardaway Jr., Devin Harris, DeAndre Jordan, Wesley Matthews. It's actually a really good roster. But I do it every time for the teammates. Who's had the most wins with Luka and so far in Luka's career?
I'm going to say Tim Hardaway Jr.
Ben?
I'm gonna second that.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. That sounds about right.
It's actually Dwight Powell.
Really?
Wow.
With Uriah play the sound?
Thanks for letting us know we were all off.
189 wins.
Huh.
Dorian Finney-Smith is second with 173, and Tim Hardaway Jr. is third with 160.
I guess injuries, right? Is that what? Because they've all played, right? I guess it has to be injuries, right?
Yeah, I would say, because Tim Hardaway Jr. has had some injuries as well. Let's move on to the 2019-2020 season. Pretty much the same roster. They added Seth Curry, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Remember him?
Sorry. Charlotte got really screwed over in that draft. Sorry.
MKG. Kristaps Porzingis was on this team. And the ever-lovable Boban Marjanovic.
Marjanovic.
Did I say Marjanovic?
You said Marjanovic or something. It's Marjanovic.
Marstanovic?
Just stop. Stop. It's Marjanovic.
I put the J in it, Marjanovic.
Yeah, no, you don't pronounce the J.
So the first three years of Luka's career, he was coached by Rick Carlisle. And I'm going to skip the 2020 season because that was wonky for many reasons. I'm going to go to the 2021 season. Once again, Jalen Brunson, who I would think would have more wins with Luka, but Jalen is a kind of a late bloomer. Would you guys agree?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
JJ Redick, Josh Richardson was also on this team. Pretty much the same team. I think when it comes to Luka and his roster construction, because he is such a great facilitator and a big guard, they've always surrounded him with enough shooting, but not enough defense.
Yeah.
And as we go through the list here with the teammates, not a lot of great defensive players. Dorian Finney-Smith is a good defensive player, but not enough defense, especially at the big position, to help Luka.
Yeah, they kind of broke up that conference final team. I don't know what they were doing in their front office because that's tough to make the conference finals.
Well, they thought that they would the whole entire Jalen Brunson thing, that was because they thought that nobody would offer him the money. Mm-hmm. And basically, as soon as he got offered the money, he didn't even give the Mavs a chance to. And I don't blame Brunson. They didn't believe in him.
Money.
Yeah, get your money. Be a star. Because honestly, would he have been as big of a star as he is now? We're talking about him arguably as the second best point guard in the East.
No.
We wouldn't be talking about him in the same way if he was still next to Luka.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, I'm just saying like Luka's team would be probably better because Brunson currently is more durable than Kyrie.
Yeah, of course. I would say that Brunson's probably
Kyrie is great, but he's just not durable.
I think Lucas, you mentioned earlier his best season so far statistically was 2021-22, correct?
This past season.
Okay, so 22-23.
Yeah.
Coached by Jason Kidd. Let me go to that roster right now. And I want to, after someone end with a question. Reggie Bullock, Spencer Dinwiddie, they spent an early pick on Jaden Hardy. I don't know if that's worked out so far. Justin Holiday, JaVale McGee. So eventually they got some type of shot blocking.
Yeah, but they barely played him.
Yeah. Dwight Powell is really their center that Luka likes to play with. Aging at this point, Kemba Walker was on that 2022.
He had one good game with them, and that was it.
Yeah. Christian Wood and the acquisition that they thought would put them over the top. So what hasn't so far is Kyrie Irving, who's a future Hall of Famer.
I think Kyrie's been a good addition. They just need more defense now. That's their thing.
Yeah,
Maybe.
they've worked well. Yeah. They've actually worked well. He just hasn't been on the court that much.
Yeah. But no, I mean, look, I think it's an okay... I mean, Kyrie can play with anybody, I think. The question is, can he keep it together off the court? So far, so good.
Yeah, and in Kyrie's case, I think he's taking a back row as the point guard, and he's more of a two guard with Luka.
And that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Kyrie Irving is a really good shooter. Really good shooter.
I mean, he's kind of doing what he did with LeBron.
I don't think LeBron was as more of a point guard as Luka is.
Yeah, I mean, more or less.
And let me end this off with Luka and his segment. And I'm going to go back to what I said at the beginning. If the Atlanta Hawks drafted Luka Dončić, will Luka be more successful today?
It's like if Larry Bird would have been on
the Lakers.
Maybe not the Lakers, but maybe the Sixers or another rival team. Would Larry Bird have been successful in another team? Absolutely. Luka would have been good anywhere he went. And yeah, I think to me that's a no-brainer. Yeah, he would have had just as much success.
Ben?
Yeah, you see that with like even the Olympic team, how he kind of dragged that team to like, I think that they were third or fourth. Anywhere he goes, Europe, he's going to bring his talent. So no, I think he is a unique player. Like, I think he's going to be good anywhere.
And Lucas, you gave your opinion, right?
I mean, yeah, look, I don't think in terms of like personal success wouldn't have mattered, but team success, look, Atlanta is not properly ran. They've made terrible move after terrible move. I don't think that replacing Luka with Trey would not have made that big of a difference.
I actually would give you a good argument because the Atlanta Hawks got to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, they did.
Although
with a lot of help.
Yeah, we'll need to get into that. But yeah, the Atlanta Hawks, the way their roster was constructed, at least a couple years ago, with John Collins and Capella, I actually think Luka would have been better off on the Atlanta Hawks team. It would have gotten far. I mean, they got to the Eastern Conference Finals with Trae Young, so that's a big what if.
Dallas is a decent market, and I think he'll get. So people are going to start wanting to go there. He's going to be the guy people want to play with.
He needs a all-star level big to help.
My favorite trash talking by Larry, and Kevin was a pretty good trash talker too. But Larry was when they trash talk coaches, like when they trash talk Hubie Brown, and. They're sitting there playing in Madison Square Garden, and he's just going like taking the ball out of bounds in front of their bench, so the whole bench can hear him,
right?
And go like, Hubie, this all you got for me tonight? Like you got no one else that can guard me? This is getting ridiculous, And then Hubie would put in like Johnny Newman would be running in the game. He goes, wait, are you serious? That's the guy you're putting on me? But it was those subtle things that he said that were just, I mean, they were so funny, but. We loved it. Even the other bench, even Hubie's team in New York is like laughing at Bird's trash talking.
Now, I do not know who that was. You right?
Nobody else knows who that was?
Was it Bill Walton?
No, not Bill Walton.
Whoever it was, they have a really good podcast voice. I'll say that.
Ben?
Robert Parrish?
No way.
Kevin McHale?
No, that was none other than Danny Ainge.
Oh,
really?
Wow.
Yeah, he was interviewed on the Knuckleheads podcast. I think Darius Garland and Quentin Richardson, I think.
Where's Danny Ainge from? Sounds like he's from like New York or something.
No,
there.
Utah.
Oh,
He's in Utah right now. I think he's from the West Coast. I don't know. But
That's
anyway,
why I said I think he's from Utah.
That's Danny Ainge.
Wow, that stumped me. All right, so let's get to Larry Bird, Larry Legend. Drafted in 1978, but didn't play until 1979 for the Boston Celtics. There's an obscure name that Larry Bird played with his rookie year, a Hall of Famer. And I'm pretty Lucas, I might not get this one. But does anybody know who this player was that Larry Bird played with? That's a Hall of Famer. And you would not think of him as a Boston Celtic legend. Uriah?
I want to say it's like either Quinn Buckner or Cedric Maxwell. One of those two players. I don't know.
Ben?
I mean, I want to say Cedric Maxwell.
He's a Celtic legend, though. Lucas?
Ugh. Okay,
this is obscure. I don't think nobody gets this one.
Can you tell us the position he played?
Shooting guard.
Not Havlicek.
I know who it is.
Hang on. I think I know who it is too. Pistol Pete Maravich?
Yes, it is, Lucas.
Wow.
Yes. Was that your answer, Ryan?
No, actually, it wasn't.
Good job, Pistol Pete. Yes.
Good job, man.
Yeah. He was Pistol Pete Maravich was on that 79-80 Boston Celtics team.
Wow, I forgot that. Good
he was
grab.
in his 30. He was at the end of his career at that point, right? He was like 34.
Yes. Yeah, he was in his 9th year. So that's an obscure name you would never think was a Boston Celtic.
Right.
Yeah, because he played with the Jazz for most of his time, right?
Yeah.
I have a random question. How many teams were around back then? Like in the 80s? Was it? It was like
in the teams. It was in the teams.
It was like 16? Okay, cool.
I don't know exactly, but...
I think it were the 20s because this was right after the ABA merger.
Yeah, it would have been the 20s, Lucas. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 more Hall of Famers Larry Bird played with that pretty much know they're Boston Celtic legends. Dave Cowens and Tiny Archibald.
Okay.
That's who I was going to say. Nate Tiny Archibald. Yeah.
Yeah. On that 79-80 team, they also had Chris Ford and, of course, Cedric Maxwell, who I think is a Boston Celtic legend.
23.
Say again?
There were 23 teams in 1980, so you're right. That's actually a lot more than I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, this was the beginning of what Red Auerbach would form a team. 2 players, obviously, they missed it from this team, that they would get the next year, and that would be the 80-81 team. That would be Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish. Now, this would form, I would think, the best front court in basketball history. Anybody have an objection to that?
What, Bird, Parrish, and McHale?
Yeah.
Hang on. Give me a minute.
I have one.
Oh, go ahead, Ben.
I would say it's Duncan. The first couple years, Duncan Robinson would be better than them.
Well, no, we're talking about all 3. Who was the 3?
Sean Elliott?
Nah, not Sean Elliott.
No, but I think when I think of front court, I think
we're
more
talking
center,
about
power
forwards
forward
and centers. We're talking about both 3, 4,
and
5.
They would have to be all Hall of Famers. I mean, because they are.
No, then no one's touching that. Yeah, I always thought it was power forward and center, but
no, front
maybe
court
it is all 3.
Small forward, at least in historical sense. I don't know if you would consider that in modern day, but historical sense.
Yeah, and it's also kind of strange that Larry Bird was always labeled as a power forward, but
he only played it for the first half of his career. He switched over in 84 to small forward, according to Basketball Reference.
Okay.
Who played in the early 80s is Dr. J, who was technically a small forward.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
Dr.
J,
Moses,
and Barkley.
You technically had a year of Barkley.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying 84, 85. Was he on that?
Yeah. Barkley was in 84.
Barkley was a rookie with Dr. J and Moses.
Well, who was the before Barkley? Who was there before? Was it McGinnis?
That's what I was going to ask. When they won
was it George McGinnis, or did they trade George McGinnis to get Moses?
Cunningham was
he was a reserve.
Yeah,
they traded George McGinnis in the 70s. They couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah,
I forget
so
who
they
they
traded
got
him
back.
for Moses.
Well, whoever it wasn't a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe if you want to asterisk that, maybe that Sixers team in 84 or 85, but
I don't think so because Barkley was a rookie. So I think Maurice is right. They're the best front court of all time.
Yeah,
because they're in their peak. Yeah,
the 80-81 championship team, that was Larry Bird's first championship.
Who was the MVP?
Oh, the finals MVP, was it Gerald Henderson?
No, it could not have been Gerald
No,
Henderson.
you said you had it.
Yeah.
You teased us last segment.
I know who it is. I looked it up.
Who is it?
It's Cedric Maxwell.
Cedric Maxwell. Yeah, that's who I thought it was. Yeah.
I didn't grab that
All
one.
that build up. All that
The original Andre Iguodala.
Yeah.
Cedric Maxwell.
Yeah.
Let's move on to, let's move on to the second championship team. This is moving ahead a little bit to the 83-84 team. Danny Ainge was on that team. Dennis Johnson, who's been really underrated. Even if you don't like the Boston Celtics, Dennis Johnson was a good point guard.
Good defender, too.
Or shooting guard, really. Yeah, good defender, too, as well. ML Carr, Quentin Buckner, and Gerald Henderson. They had a lot of utility players, really good utility players that played a certain way for the Boston Celtics. Let me throw a question out there to you guys. I may have to go down the list a little bit on this one. Do you guys know who had the most wins with Larry Bird?
Kevin McHale.
I guess McHale, but who knows?
Ben?
I'm going to go out Robert Parrish. I'm going to just say that.
And Ryan, you said McHale?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with. But I think Ben might be a good guess, too.
Yeah, Ben is right.
Oh, okay.
It's Robert Parrish.
Robert Parrish.
The Chief.
Yeah, I didn't know.
The Chief.
Didn't he later? Robert Parrish was on those Bulls teams, too. He just was kind of ring chasing, yeah.
Robert Parrish was on the 96 Bulls. And he played in the 70s.
That was crazy. I just have to say,
he's the longest tenured player in it. Well, hold up, is it him or Vince Carter now?
No, I think he still has the most games played.
He has the most.
I mean, Vince played 22?
He was so old on those Bulls teams. You guys remember that?
Yo, he used to scare me. I used to see him on TV, and I used to be afraid to go to bed at night because I was like, that guy is scary. But great player, great human being. But just as a kid, remember, I'm a kid.
I think LeBron's going to surpass them all on that one on 10 years.
I mean, probably if he wants to.
Yeah, Bron is still playing at such a high level.
Yeah. So Robert Parrish had 678 wins with Larry Bird.
Wow,
that's a lot of W's.
Yeah.
Kevin McHale was second with 647.
Okay.
And Danny Ainge was third with 435.
That's not surprising.
Winning basketball, man. The 80s was winning basketball for the Celtics.
It just proves that sometimes you just need to keep a core together for a while.
Yep.
Wow, Robert Parrish was the 44 on that Bulls team. Wow.
He's 44.
And LeBron is
39, just turned 39 this year.
Not even 40, yeah.
So can he play another 5 years?
Yeah, he might not play the 44.
Well, he might if he wants to. If he wants to be the end of the bench type of guy.
Now let's move on to the third championship, which is 85-86. I think most people in basketball think this is one of the greatest teams, or at least one of the best Larry Bird team for sure, but one of the greatest basketball teams put together. Mind you, these Celtics teams, they're going up against the Lakers every year. Pretty much every year. They match up against the Lakers. So the quality of basketball here is really high. Really high. Usual names here. They kept the same players, really. Danny Ainge, Rick Carlisle, future coach, was on this team. Dennis Johnson, McHale, Parrish. They added Bill Walton.
He was a towel waver at that point. You just see him on the sideline waving a towel.
He gave him some good minutes.
Some spot minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
So they were the original super team, them and the Lakers.
Pretty much.
I mean, the 1960s Celtics were the original super team.
But the quality of competition back then wasn't the same as the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah. And when you think about it, I mean, you got 3 Hall of Famers. That would count as a super team.
Yeah. Technically 4 if you count. Well, Walden's in this Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, but he was past his prime.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And let's just wrap up with... I'm going to wrap up with Larry Bird's last season, which was the
91, right?
91. No, 92,
yeah.
92. Just to talk about some more current NBA players. D. Brown.
Oh, wow.
Remember him? He was at dunk contest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He did the
Reebok pumps.
No, he did the no look.
Yeah, he did, but he was wearing the pumps. Anybody remember Kevin Battle? I remember all those guys.
I think he played with the Nets, right?
I don't remember. I know he was on the He was number 34 for the Celtics.
Rick Fox.
Really?
Fox, yeah, he was drafted by the Celtics.
Did he? Okay, did not know that.
Ed Pickney.
Ed Pickney went to Villanova.
Never heard that name.
And another former Laker who played with the Celtics. Anybody got a name? Before I say it?
Former Laker?
Question. He was a former Laker. Played for the Celtics.
Oh, man. Not Rambus.
No. I think I know who it is. Norm Nixon?
Elvin Campbell?
Norm Nixon?
Elvin Campbell.
Norm Nixon? No, I think he was
Norm Nixon retired by then.
Okay.
It's Brian Shaw.
Oh.
That's right. I do remember that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was Larry Bird's last season in the NBA, and I think Ben mentioned that he played in the Dream Team, and he never played another game for the Lakers. So Larry Bird went out with an Olympic gold medal.
Okay.
So that is Larry Bird and his teammates in his time with the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
And let me ask this question. If the Lakers weren't the Lakers, how many championships do you think Larry Bird would have won?
I mean, the Lakers won 5 during that time.
I think Larry could have won 6 or 7.
Probably.
Ben?
Yeah, I'd say 5, at least 5 or 6. Yeah, because he did get past Julius Erving a number of times. So
and the Pistons.
Well, the Pistons later on, but yeah, it was really the Sixers in the 80s.
The Pistons really surpassed them in the late 80s. You right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd say at least 5 because the Lakers, I mean, I can't see anybody out west other than the Rockets, maybe the Spurs at the time.
Well, probably towards the end.
Yeah, towards the end.
Okay. Let me ask this question. Which teammates stood out the most throughout Larry Bird's career? Let me start with you, Ryan.
I'm actually going to mention a player that he didn't play with, that had he played with him, no matter who they played against the Lakers, they would have won multiple more championships. So there's a guy named Len Bias.
Yeah.
That the Celtics were going to take with the number 1 pick out of Maryland, arguably better than Jordan at the collegiate level, arguably, as people say. But yeah, I think Len Bias is such a tragic incident in the NBA that shocked everyone. I was a kid at the time, and I was like, I didn't not even watch Len Bias play, but had he gone to that team, any athleticism that they were lacking at that point in time as players were aging for the Celtics, I think Len Bias would have been a really great addition. And one other teammate that is not a Hall of Famer, but maybe could have been, had another tragic death, which was Reggie Lewis. Number 35, he had a heart condition. And I remember Larry Bird was really upset about that because Larry Bird had taken him under his wing. So I think those 2 teammates stood out to me, just looking back and reflecting on that era.
Ben?
Wow, I'm just kind of taken back by that. Obviously we all know about Len Bias, but I was just looking as Uriah was saying it, that was coming off Larry Bird's 3-peat, his 3rd MVP season. So
86.
Yeah. So Len was drafted in 86 out of Maryland. So yeah, they would have been unstoppable throughout the 80s and probably would have interfered with what the Pistons were doing later on in the late 80s.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with McHale just because they were peaked at the same time and they just were so dominant. Yeah, it's so rare and so fortunate. Kind of we're talking with Luka how Dirk passed the torch to him, and it's so rare to have even just 5 or 6 years of players in their peak Hall of Famers. So they complement each other so well. So I'm going to say Kevin McHale.
Lucas.
I want to go with Danny Ainge here because you can argue that Danny Ainge's impact on basketball happened more outside of him playing on the court than while he was on the court as a GM. I mean, he's put together countless competitive teams, including a championship team in Boston. So I'm going to go with Danny Ainge.
Okay.
All right. What about you, Maurice? Which player, teammate stood out to you?
Well, even though I didn't have the answer ready, I should have. That's my fault. Cedric Maxwell. So I always remember Cedric Maxwell being like that utility player. Those are the guys who win you championships. I mean, the superstars get you there. But Cedric Maxwell, Danny Ainge, Dennis Johnson.
Yeah, DJ.
Those are the players that get you over the top.
Yeah.
Especially against, Magic and his teams. And, we know about his teams and his roster. So
He might be the only Finals MVP to never be an All-Star. I have to look that up. Yeah, that's interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now that we've set up the debate with all the facts on Luka Dončić and Larry Bird, it's time for you to make your case.
At this point, it's not about our opinions. It's about yours.
We'll see you on your favorite social media platform, ready to check out your takes. Chime in on our Instagram at NBA_NowAndThen_pod, on Twitter at NBA_NowAndThen, and on our YouTube page, NBA Now and Then.
All right, thanks for tuning in, everyone. We will see you next time. This has been NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons. Peace.
Have a good day.
Later.
See ya.